जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरावन चारी यमुना तीरावन चारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावन चारी। यमुना तीरावन चारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा कला चंजी राधा कला चंजी राधे। जय राधा कला चंजी राधा कला चंजी राधे। Jayo Radha Govind Radha Govind Radhe. Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva Jayo Subhadra. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Jayo Jayo Gurudev 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev Gurudev. Jayo Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. Jayo Yashoda Damodar Yashoda Damodar Yashoda Damodar Radhe. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Ten, 12, 1. This is Allah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Praying at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, our dear most Srila Prabhupada, and all the Guru Vargas, may I speak few words in the glorification of our dear Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas and for my very own purification. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhuve vacha patitanam pavaneve Vaishnavev Vayo namo nama. Mukum karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Usually I give class for Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. So I beg forgiveness in the beginning and I'll beg in the middle and also at the end. As I was, thank you Draupadi for the Mridanga and for the Kartals. I was thinking all of our service, I've been thinking, this is my thought process the entire week, that none of our service is complete without the other devotees' support. And when I was, I'm not talking about height-wise, but age-wise also, when I was really little, we used to have a group dance. And one step wrong and the entire dance will look so funny. So first thing, more than that you dance well, it's more than that you cooperate, that you dance with everybody. You don't go ahead, you don't go slow, you dance with everybody. And that was the main focus. Like you can dance very beautifully by your own, but when it's a group dance, the main focus is you follow everybody else and be in sync. Another day I was thinking the same thing is for our service. We might be expert in something, but if we do not cooperate with others, the entire mood, the entire emotion, the entire service, the entire offering becomes not so nice, like the group dance. And if you see the last instruction of Srila Prabhupada also, if you want to please me through cooperation, cooperate with each other. So entire that devotional service we see, I've been reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's going to be 3 years, I think, for me giving, discussing Chaitanya Charitamrita in the temple. And we see this mood of our acharyas and also Srimati Radharani. When she is there, she doesn't need anybody to be there. We keep hearing that, she never repeats her dishes. She's that expert. She's been cooking for Krishna eternally and never repeated the dish. So this is her expertise, and yet she involves other gopis. Why? Because this is a movement of cooperation. We do things together, and that brings the real pleasure and real bliss. So before we start this wonderful chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Jai Shri Radha Kala Chandji ki Jai. Happy Gopashtami to all of you. Please pray and bless me so that I don't waste your time. And whatever words I speak, be in the line of Gauriya Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada. And may they bring lot of joy to our heart and love for Krishna. Thank you. So we'll recite the first one. Shri Shukha Uvacha Kvachid Vanasaya Mano Dadhat Brajat Prata Samuttaya Vayasya Vatsapan Prabodhayant Shringaravena Charun Ravena Charuna Vinirgato Vatsa Pura Sarohari Kvachid Vanasaya Mano Dadad Brajat Prata Samuttaya Vayasya Vatsapan Prabodhayan Shringaravena Charuna Vinirgato Vatsapura Sarohari Kvachid Vanasaya Mano Dadad Brajat Prata Samuttaya Vanasaya Vatsapan Prabodhayan Shringaravena Charuna Vinirgato Vatsapura Sarohari. You want to chant? Kvachid Vanasaya Mano Dadad Brajat Prataha Sammutya Vajaya Sapatsapan Prabodhaya Shringaravena Charuna Vinirgato Vatsapura Sarohari Kvachid Vanashaya Mano Dadha Brajat Prata Samuthaya Vayasya Vatsapan Prabodhayan Shringaravena Charuna Vinirgato Vatsapura Sarohari. What toward meaning? Shri Sukha Uvacha. Shri Sukadev Goswami said, Kvachit, one day, Vana Asaya, just to enjoy a picnic in the forest. Manaha, Dadhat, gave attention. Brajat, and went out of Brajabhumi. Prataha, early in the morning. Samuttaya, waking up. Vayasya Vatsapan, the cowherd boys and the cubs. Prabodhayan, to get everyone to rise. Waking up and informing them. Shringaravena, by sounding the bugle made of horn. Charuna, very beautiful. Vinirgataha, came out of Brajabhumi. Vatsa Purasara, keeping the respective groups of calves in front. Harihi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation. Sukadev Goswami continued, O king, one day Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest, having risen early in the morning. He blew his bugle made of horn and woke all the cowherd boys and calves with its beautiful sound. Then Krishna and the boys, keeping their respective groups of calves before them, proceeded from Brajabhumi to the forest. Please repeat. Sukadev Goswami continued, O king, one day Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest. Having risen early in the morning, he blew his bugle made of horn and woke all the cowherd boys and calves with its beautiful sound. Then Krishna and the boys, keeping their respective groups of calves before them, proceeded from Brajabhumi to the forest. This is Saturday's our speaker's choice. I have been hearing Aghasura pastime from Amarendra Prabhu for a long time now. It's almost the entire month he covered that. And of course I will not do even a part of justice to what he is doing, but it's so meditative, so I thought we can also, churn a little bit just by reading Srila Prabhupada's translation and purport and the verses itself, so how much ever we can go. Basically, Aghasura will be killed in this episode of chapter 12, and then Brahmaji will speak the wonderful prayers, and then the Brahma Bimohan Leela will come. So Krishna decided to have breakfast in the morning with his boys, and there were thousands of boys, not one or two. There were thousands. Krishna doesn't only manage like so many wives, but he can manage also so many friends. So this is his unlimited potency. And if you see the picture there, that's a Brahma Bimohan Leela picture. Only thing is Balaram wasn't there, but in the picture Balaram is there. But Balaram wasn't there on the day because it was his birthday. So whenever I look at the picture, I think this is a different Kalpa. Otherwise, I don't know. I asked few devotees, they said, not sure. But if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, not to any Acharya or anybody else, just by our own Srila Prabhupada's description, it was Balaram's birthday. And that's why he didn't know what was going on when Brahma stole and Krishna got this, his form as the other boys. And if it's so amazing, if you get to the Brahma Bimohan Leela and read, even the bugles and the drums, everything Krishna became everything. Not just the so-called looking, human beings, but also not everything, like, jara, ajara, everything, even the what do you say, the movable and the immovable, even the bugle and the flute and everything, the turban and that thing that goes around the west and the west belt and everything. Krishna, he manifested himself as those things. Not just his friends and the calves and the cows, but also the things that their friends use. So, like that. So this is Aghasura pastime, and Aghasura will be killed. But we wouldn't be able to complete that entire chapter, but there are a lot of lessons that Prabhupada is giving us, and we will try to chant some of it. And I was hearing Indradumna Maharaj, if you get a chance, please hear. These are like 3 years old classes when Maharaj was in Vrindavan, and after that also. And he's giving beautiful, like he made a series on Yavat for 3 episodes, like that. And if you read, Maharaj gives the explanation from the acharyas and the local stories. And it's so, if you meditate on it, and Maharaj at one point of time, he says, what else do you need? And if you hear the Maharaj, and after entire pastime, or half of the pastime, I think, he explains, and then he said, what else do you need in life? And Bhagavad Gita says, this is what a devotee's life is. We read, we hear, and then we discuss amongst ourselves. And I was hearing Swayam Keshav Maharaj, and he was saying that Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, that as one progresses in bhakti, one becomes not only matured in bhakti, but becomes very, very childlike personality, because they start becoming innocent. So the time for them start reversing. Like what happens when we are really young? We are all innocent, but as we see people, as we through our experiences, we start getting older, not only in our age, but also in our experience, and we start becoming cunning, and we try to street smart things, and we change. We change, and that's when we become adult, and our innocence goes away. But if you do bhakti, and when you hear about Krishna and discuss about Krishna, the innocence comes back to you. And that's Maharaj said that, if you are, the more a person get purer in bhakti, the more innocent that person becomes. Also, when Bhakti Vinod Maharaj, when he was here, he was saying another thing. It doesn't mean that devotee becomes a stupid because of that he is innocent, now he's a stupid. Like if you see a child, innocent, it might be, stupid, doesn't know what to do. But if you see Sanatan Goswami, Maharaj gave this example, Bhakti Vinod Maharaj, that when you see Sanatan Goswami's pastime, when he was stuck in the jail, he so smartly came out of he coined the person, and he came out of the prison. He said, I'm going to Mecca, and I will bless you, and I'll pray for you, I'll do this for you, do that for you, here is the coin, and here is the prayer for you, and can you please let me go out? So he was not a Muslim, he wouldn't go to Mecca, he was trying to reach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was coining this person who was, I don't know if he was a prisoner, but the king was the prisoner, basically, if you see in a way. But anyway, this person was in charge of making sure that everybody is there in the prison. And Sanatan Goswami just tricked him. But you see, he was so innocent, and still he was smart enough. So devotee need not to be a stupid, but still can be smart. So that's a beautiful point I was thinking. And so we'll go ahead and read, and then we'll stop at Prabhupada's purport. I'll just continue reading. You can show the verses here. Tenaiva sakam prithuka sahasrasa snigdha shushek. You want to chant along? We can all chant along, but we'll not do call response. Is that okay? Snigdha shushigvetra vishana venava swan sahasropari sankhyayananvitan Vatsan Purakskrita Viniryayurmuda. At that time, hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys came out of their respective homes in Brajabhumi and joined Krishna, keeping before them their hundreds and thousands of groups of calves. The boys were very beautiful, and they were equipped with lunch bags, bugles, flutes, and sticks for controlling the calves. I've heard from Radha, Maharaj's name? Radha, no. I'll get the name, but Maharaj was mentioning that amongst these cowherd boys were the demigods too, because they loved this so much, this scene, it was so scenic, that they wanted to participate in Krishna Leela. So they came down as the cowherd boys and the calves and the cows and like that. Radha Govinda Maharaj. Krishna Vatsera Sankhyater Yuthi Kritya Swavatsakan Charayanto Arbhalila Bhir Vijaru Tatra Tatraha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Along with the cowherd boys and their own groups of calves, Krishna came out with an unlimited number of calves assembled. Then all the boys began to sport in the forest in a greatly playful spirit. In this verse, the words Krishna Vatser, Asankhya are significant. The word Asankhya means unlimited. Krishna's calves were unlimited. We may speak of hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions and billions and trillions and tens of trillions, and so on. But when we go further to speak of numbers impossible for us to count, we are speaking of unlimited numbers. Such unlimited numbers are indicated here by the word Asankhyaty or Asankhyaty. Krishna is unlimited. His potency is unlimited. His cows and calves are unlimited. And all his space is unlimited. Therefore, he is described in Bhagavad Gita as Parabrahman. The word Brahman means unlimited, and Krishna is the supreme unlimited. Parabrahman. Therefore, we should not consider the statements of this verse to be mythological. They are factual but inconceivable. Krishna can accommodate an unlimited number of calves and unlimited measurement of space. This is neither mythological nor false. But if we study Krishna's potency with our limited knowledge, that potency will never be possible to understand. Atha Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Grahyam Indriya Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1-109. Our senses can perceive. Our senses cannot perceive how he could keep an unlimited number of calves and cows and have unlimited space in which to do so. But this is answered in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Before I move, I was thinking, why is Prabhupada talking of space? He's talking about unlimited cows and unlimited calves. But why is he talking about space? And then it clicked me, oh, because to keep the cows and calves, you need space to keep them, you know. So you need unlimited space to keep the unlimited cows and calves. So that's why you need, and Prabhupada would have read my mind, so he explained further. So this is from Brihad Bhagavatam by Sanatan Goswami. Evam prabhuvo priyanam cha dhamnascha samasyasya cha avinchintya prabhavatvat atra kinchinna durghatam. Sri Sanatan Goswami in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita states that since everything about Krishna is unlimited, nothing is impossible for him. It is in this sense that we have to understand this verse. So, since Krishna is unlimited, nothing is impossible for him. And this is not mythological, but we have to have the mood of surrender to understand Krishna Leela. Prabhupada writes, I think this is 1-6 purport, might be wrong, but you know, in the purport of the Canto 1, he says you cannot challenge him and understand him at the same time. You cannot doubt him, basically, and then you say, I understand Krishna. To understand Krishna, the first qualification is faith and, of course, surrender. Text 4. Phala prabala stavaka sumana picha dhatubhi kacha gunja mani swarna bhushita api abhushayan. Although all these boys were already decorated by their mothers with ornaments of kacha gunja, pearls and gold, when they went into the forest, they further decorated themselves with fruits and green leaves and bunches of flowers, peacock feathers and soft minerals. So if you look at Krishna, he's decorated so wonderfully today, right, Kalachandji? With everything around him, and this kacha gunja. Gunja is particular kind of a, it looks like a bud, but it's, and Radharani wears it, it has 3 colors and things like that. So kacha gunja. And mani swarna. So they, even if they were decorated, but they decorated themselves. You know, it's a part of their play. They decorated themselves and with flowers and all the things. And that's the beauty of Brindavan. They're simple. Like even if morning I was hearing, even if Radharani stayed in palace before marriage, after marriage, but still she liked, Brindavan, the forest of Brindavan. She was in Varsana when she was born, and then she was in Yavat after marriage. But in both cases, she was in a palace. But in between, her favorite was Brindavan, where it's a forest. And they did all this, right? Like these flowers and different kind of animals and peacock feathers and things, and they decorated themselves with. Text 5. Mushnanto anyonya shikyadin gyatan archa aracha shikshipihu tatratyascha punardurad dhashantascha punadadu. Translation. All the cowherd boys used to steal one another's lunch bags. When a boy came to understand that his bag had been taken away, the other boys would throw it further away to a more distant place, and those standing there would throw it still further. When the proprietor of the bag became disappointed, the other boys would laugh, the proprietor would cry, and then the bag would be returned. This kind of playing and stealing among boys still exists even in the material world, because this kind of sporting pleasure is present in the spiritual world, from which this idea of enjoyment emanates. Janmadiyasya yataha, Vedanta Sutra 112. This same enjoyment is displayed by Krishna and his associates in the spiritual world, but there the enjoyment is eternal, whereas here on the material platform it is temporary. There the enjoyment is Brahman, whereas here the enjoyment is Jara. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to train one how to transfer oneself from the Jara to the Brahman, because human life is meant for this purpose. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, Vedanta Sutra 111. Athato Brahma Jigyasa is the very question when you realize yourself. That's when you ask, this is 3 questions. Who am I? Who is God? And what is our relationship? Basically, establishing our sambandha with Krishna. So this 3 questions makes this Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So Athato means therefore. Brahma Jigyasa, ask about Brahman. Now that you have realized that you are soul, now that you have realized there is a super soul, ask what is the relationship and act on it. If you realize that you are the servant, Jivesh Swarup Krishna Nitya Das, once you realize that we are the eternal servant of Krishna, what's next? Once the mother realizes that she has become a mother, she won't sit there and think, okay, I'm a mother, I'm a mother, I'm a mother. What's the thing that we do? You act as a mother, you take care of the child. So once we have realized that we are the servant of Krishna, what we do? We act, we do devotional service. First we realize that we are servant, and then we serve. Krishna comes to the spiritual world. Where am I? Okay, Krishna comes down to teach us how we can enjoy with him on the spiritual platform, in the spiritual world. Not only does he come, but he personally displays his pastimes in Vrindavan and attracts people to spiritual enjoyment. We read the next verse and we'll come back a little bit and I'll see what's there in my notes. It's a very beautiful verse. We can read together. Yadi duram gata Krishno vanasho bhakshenayatam aham purvam iti samsprishya re mire. We'll repeat. Yadi duram gata Krishna vanaso bhakshenayatam aham purvam iti samsprishya re mire. Translation. Sometimes Krishna would go to a somewhat distant place to see the beauty of the forest. Please close your eyes if you want to and imagine the scene. And then all the other boys would run to accompany him, and each one saying, I shall be the first to run and touch Krishna. I shall touch Krishna first. In this way, they enjoy life by repeatedly touching Krishna. So they'll say, I'm first. They'll say, aham purvam. I'm the first one to touch him. I'm the first one. They'll race, right? They'll run after Krishna. Because Krishna has gone somewhere and just seeing things, oh, this is nice, this is beautiful, I like it, I like that. And he is oblivious of his friends, but his friends are keeping pace with him and saying, I'm going first and touching him, I'm going first and touching him. Aham purvam, I'm going to first, touch Krishna. We can not in a competitive mood, but in our bhajan, in our, when we practice our sadhana, our chanting, our listening, our reading, we can also think, aham purvam, aham purvam. I'm going to leave this material world first. But where are we going? We have to go to Krishna. So that's what I was thinking, aham purvam, aham purvam. Not in a pessimistic way that, I want to die because this material world is dukhalayam, ashashvatam, this is miserable place. This is like a Mayavadi thing. This is not good, that is not good, and neti, neti, neti. So we don't know where we will end up if we haven't fixed our destination. We have to, wherever you fix your mind, you have to work towards it, and then your goal. Like any athlete or anybody for that matter, when we prepare for an exam, we know what we want out of the result, and then we work towards it. And of course, it says that the end and the means are the same, and the journey is as beautiful as the final destination. So, as I was saying, I was hearing Maharaj, Indudimna Maharaj, and Maharaj, as he explains how the gopis were serving Krishna and Radharani and their meeting time. As you hear these pastimes, you with tattva, of course, we also start meditating. And when we sit and chant, and when we sit, these things comes to us. Like sometimes, we'll just wake up from sleep and a thought will come. And imagine if we leave our body at that time. Success of life. So Maharaj has been speaking a lot, on 3 years back, but Yavat stories and the things like that, and the mood and the emotion, everything. And I feel, personally for myself, and of course for all of us, that's why Prabhupada gave us the book. Of course, the chanting is if you see, the chanting, Sankirtanam, which is the Kali Yuga Dharma, is the base of every devotional service we do. Like, we have this verse where it says that Parikshit Maharaj is the beacon for, Shravanam, Prahlad Maharaj is Smaranam, like that. But everything else, so I had asked this question from this, senior devotee, and I was asking Prabhu, but Shravanam, for Parikshit Maharaj it was just Shravanam, for Prahlad Maharaj it was just Smaranam, like that. And he said, but before that they would have heard about the Lord. So without Sankirtanam, no other service is possible to start. They would have heard, like Prahlad heard Narad Muni while he was in the womb, and Parikshit Maharaj had been hearing about Krishna and his wonderful activities with Pandava, and the Sankirtan happened. And even then, who was doing the Sankirtan that time? Shukadev Goswami was doing the Sankirtan, and he was doing the Shravanam. So without Sankirtanam, which is the Kali Yuga Dharma, any other service that we do, the 9, services, devotional service that Prahlad Maharaj speak about, that's why though it starts with Shravanam, but without Kirtanam, it does not start. So when we keep hearing and hearing and hearing and be absorbed, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, go above the three modes and become transcendental. But how do you go? You cannot force your nature, you cannot force your modes, because if you are a passionate kind of a person, you are passionate kind of person. We may act for a while, but the thing will come back to us because we have been practicing it so long. And one way is Shravanam and Kirtanam. And when you hear again and again and read again and again, even if you act on your impulse, but this pastime will come to you and calm you down. And eventually, we will be able, as Krishna instructs, we will be able to follow Krishna's instruction and go above the 3 modes of nature. So another thing I was thinking, when we hear this, when we read with full surrender, and we try to transport, the scriptures are there not to, do time pass. We have nothing to do, so we are reading scripture. No. The scriptures that we read, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, is for transforming us, to make us a different person. Not like externally or our gross body, but in our heart should transform. So only when that happens, and when we do the service, so we do service, we hear, we do service, we read, we do service, we chant, and eventually we will become the Vrajavasis. We will become like those cowherd boys who knew nothing but Krishna, who will eventually enter they saw it's a snake, it's still entering, and before they entered the snake mouth, they just turned around and looked at Krishna's smiling face. And they had so confidence. If you see the, the exchanges of the, when they talk, they said, whatever it is, end of it, Krishna gonna save us as he has been saving us. So this is Abhashya Rakshive Krishna Vishwasa Palan. Definitely Krishna will save me. So that's one of the part of limb of Sharanagati. Oh, it's already 8:30. Let's see if I have anything else. And Krishna was really sad when finally when he will see the boys are, it says murchit, fainted because of the poison. And he will go, and it was so wonderful that I heard in a class, when Agasur's life air goes out of the body from the top of his head, it goes and waits. It doesn't go anywhere else and doesn't, disappear. It waits for Krishna to wake up his as many number of friends as mentions, like the thousands and the hundreds and whatever, and the millions and the billions and unlimited friends. So many friends. He goes and wakes up each and every coward boys and the calves and say, get up, get up. And the life soul was waiting, of Agasura was waiting till it goes back to Krishna's lotus feet. And it was waiting till Krishna was done. And Krishna is very, very personal. And that's why as a devotee, or I was saying myself, somewhat devotee, we may ask many things, but Krishna may not give those to us. Because he is personal, he cares about us. And he is like, a mother, you go and ask Prabhupada. There's a beautiful verse of Prabhupada, which I wanted to read, probably we should read. Shall I quickly read it? Is it okay? Hope I find it too. Yeah, this is actually from Chaitanya Charitamrita, but mentioned in 6 Srimad Bhagavatam 6.9.49 in the purport. Prabhupada writes it, but it is originally from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.39. But the Prabhupada what explains below it is very nice. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ami biggo ei murkhe vishaya keno diba swacharanamrit diya vishaya bhulaiba. This is Mahaprabhu speaking. Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyment. Prabhupada writes, if one sincerely prays to God for material possessions in exchange for devotional service, the Lord, who is not foolish like such an unintelligent devotee, shows him special favor by taking away whatever material possessions he has and gradually giving him the intelligence to be satisfied only by rendering service to his lotus feet. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments in this regard that if a foolish child requests his mother to give him poison, the mother, being intelligent, will certainly not give him poison. The mother will certainly not give him poison, even though he requests it. A materialist does not know that to accept material possessions means to accept poison or the repetition of birth and death. An intelligent person, a Brahmana, aspire for liberation from material bondage. This is the real self-interest of a human being. So please reread it again so that you can meditate on each line of what Srila Prabhupada is saying. So we may come to Krishna, oh, I have cooked for you this Thursday. Can you give me this? Can you give me a house? Can you give me another car? But Prabhupada is saying Krishna is intelligent and not a fool like the one who asks for material benefit in return of their spiritual service. And whatever you have will be taken away by Krishna. And that's not a blanket statement, but whatever is mentioned here is what I'm just repeating. But whatever, it will be taken away from you, and Krishna will finally give you the realization that what you are supposed to be satisfied with. And that's the biggest gift in human life we can have. That is a Krishna prema. And if you see, if you go to demigods like Shiva, Brahma, that's why the asuras, they go to the demigod, because they will fulfill what they want, right? Because they're bound by the law of nature. If this person does this much of austerity, I have to give the benediction because they are bound by the nature, Mother Nature. And this is the law that's been created that every one of us, including the demigod, should follow. We see Brahma, Hiranyakashipu, we see Ravan, Lord Shiva, and so on and so forth. They have to give because they are bound by the nature, they are bound by the law. But Krishna is Swarat, as Srimad Bhagavatam first verse says, Avigya Swarat, he is all cognizant, he knows it all in and out, and he knows it, and he is Swarat, means he is fully independent. He does not have to follow any rules. So that's why they say, Akele Ishwar Krishna, Baki Sab Bhritya, Jare Jaiche Nacha, Jaiche Kare Nitya. Only Krishna is the Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And everybody else are his servants, else is his servant. And he makes them dance as he wishes. So with that we pause. A few more points, but it's time for your breakfast. We can discuss if there is anything you would like to. Please forgive me for the mistakes that I have committed. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. And if you're hungry, please go for breakfast. It's 8:30. There's a breakfast time. It's already 8:36.
If anybody has any questions, this is the time.
Yeah, if you hold it on.
How's that?
Yeah.
In ISKCON we learn more, seems like we learn more of Gaura Lila.
You learn Gaur Lila?
Yeah, we practice Gaura Lila.
Yeah.
We don't go out in the park and do leapfrog. You know, we come to the temple and we do like in Srivasangam, Harinam, you know, everything that Prabhupada taught us. Can we be part of Gaura Lila, or do we have to switch to Krishna Lila when we leave our body?
I thought, of course you know it, you were just checking if I know it or not, so I'll give you whatever I understood, but yeah, we are the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So of course we were into Gaura Lila, but if you see, when Prabhupada says this beautiful thing in his quotes, I've read that Prabhupada says, I am telling surrender to Krishna. Krishna is telling surrender to me. Where are we different? Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja, Bhagavad Gita 1866. And Srila Prabhupada has been teaching us that, surrender to Krishna. So where are we different? Similarly, Mahaprabhu, if you called him God, if you would have called him God, he will say Vishnu, Vishnu. Once in a while, he will, of course, to show his special mercy, he will reveal his, like Mahaprakash Leela, he showed his actual roop as a Bhagavan and bless and give the benedictions. But primarily he was also acting, our Guru and saying, same is Nityananda Prabhu and our Panchatattva, asking us to surrender to Krishna. Not asking like anything else, the same thing what Krishna was asking, and we are also chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So what we are doing is Vedic. Of course, our line that we have chosen is Gaudiya Vaishnava. Those who takes, and Prabhupada actually in the purport also in the future, no, this is not here, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I was reading the first Adi Lila, first chapter. Prabhupada is explaining how different sampradaya that we have from south and places like that. We have different sampradaya, the bona fide Vaishnav sampradaya, but ours is Gaudiya Vaishnav, so we are more into line of Mahaprabhu's. And if you want to, and if you see our Tulsi Aarti, right? I someday want to we want to discuss and do little charcha on Tulsi Aarti. It's totally Krishna Lila. It's totally Krishna Lila. Radha Krishna Sheva Pabo Eyo Bhilashi. So everything, Brajabhumi, Hoy Bash. If you read again, Srila Prabhupada's that particular, I'm not sure but first chapter for sure of Adi Lila, where Prabhupada is saying the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, by natural instinct, naturally they love staying in Vrindavan. They have a special love for Vrindavan and they love to reside in Vrindavan. So if you see, this is it's like you can see material world, you can see spiritual world, but when we really start getting purer and purer, we will see there is no difference. Similarly, we may see Gaura Bhumi, we may see Vrindavan Bhumi, but as we start walking towards, start progressing in our spiritual life, we see there is no difference. as I also wanted to mention, that, for a materialist, life is only so much as he can see or she can perceive. For us, we have a life after this. So even if the material life might be very difficult for us, but we know that there's another world, what we read today, going into the forest, playing with Krishna, playing bugle and calling out, and doing all the naughty stuff, stealing the lunch bag and throwing it, making other cowherd boys cry. This is what is awaiting. Our life is not ending here. Our life is not ending here. So this is what our aspiration. If you read Narottam Das Thakur's, again Indradumna Maharaj was mentioning Prarthana in song 12. He says this thing, and same thing Bhakti Vinod Thakur says in his, it's called Siddha Lalsa song number 2, I believe, where he says, when will I become, be a gopi in the village of Barsana and get married in the village of Yavat and serve Radharani's servants. So this is our aspiration. This is what our Acharya, these are all Gauriya Vaishnava. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was a Bengali, Narottam Das Thakur was Bengali. They are saying this. These are Gauriya Vaishnavas who were, so close to Mahaprabhu. And yet they're saying, when will I become a servant of Srimati Radharani and serve Radha Krishna? You read Narottam Das Thakur, Radha Krishna Pran Mora Jugal Kishore. It's completely talking about the Brajabhumi. So there is no difference. We are already training ourselves to transfer ourselves to Brajabhumi. If somebody has a particular love for Mayapur or Navadvip, of course their destination. And then I have also heard from a Janani Vas Prabhu or Pankajangri Prabhu when, that somebody was saying that I have this inclination for Mayapur, and like my guru is in Vrindavan, so how he said you can serve in both places at the same time. Such is unlimited. As we are reading today, Krishna is unlimited, so are his benedictions. If you have a spiritual desire, Krishna will fulfill it somehow or the other. Does it make sense, Prabhu? Thank you.
Just thank you so much for the amazing class. Just a thought on Prabhu's question and the discussion here. I've heard from Prabhupada Priya Prabhu, and she referred what she heard from her spiritual master, that actually Sankirtan, like book distribution, like Sankirtan, it's the closest thing in the material world that we have to Manjari Bhav.
Yeah.
Because Manjaris or Gopis, they're not thinking how can I enjoy with Krishna or Radha and Krishna. They're thinking how can I get other souls to enjoy to come closer to them. And this is what Sankirtan is. We're thinking how can I bring other souls to Radha Krishna. So
Sankirtan is the base. That's what, like we were saying, like it's without Sankirtan, other services cannot stand. It's a foundation, and on top of it, I mean, you can say Sankirtan as a Hare Krishna Kirtan, or even glorifying Krishna through, Prabhupada says reading his books are also chanting, and Prabhupada was so much into service that, but then of course Sankirtan is our foundation.
I also have a question on Gopastami pastime. I'm not so familiar, because I hear that it's the first time that Krishna and cowherd boys started herding the cows, and because they were herding calves, and then they started herding the cows. So I'd like to know more about that. But then I also hear that on this day, Radharani was dressed as a cowherd boy. So how did the two things happen at the same time? Or can you please develop?
I did not read about it, at least today. I have heard about it. So yes.
I would just like to quickly add that early in Tamal Krishna Goswami asked Srila Prabhupada something to this effect, and Prabhupada's response was, in the spiritual world, you can eat a sweet ball forever. So the linear reality we experience in the material world is very limited. Like a cow is tied to a stake, and it only knows the reality within that
radius.
Yeah. So the unlimited dimensionality, potentiality within the spiritual realm is incomprehensible to our material mind.
Yeah.
How we can be in Gaura Lila and Krishna Lila at the same time is inconceivable to us perhaps here, or how Krishna can expand unlimited cowherd boys and cows to fill an unlimited space. Like, it can't be perceived in a picture, although here is Krishna and this cowherd boy. But in the spiritual world, all